to be serious about it and be willing to pray and draw strength from Almighty God and be willing to stick it out. And if you're willing to do that and let us and others help you, you can get your life back. Flip the script, and it starts the very moment that you're serious as an addict, an alcoholic, that you want to do this, that you're serious. You can begin to turn your life around. Again, our phone number, the hotline is 654-3430, 654-3430. It bothers me again as I come here each Sunday and we can't put our phone numbers on the screen, but I repeat them. A lot of you know them. Our office number in Southbridge, 655-2832, tied to our answer service as well. 655-2832 is Southbridge. Our Newcastle office, Crossroads Shopping Plaza, 654-3430, 654-3430. That is the bold number on the billboards. If you call us, we'll get back to you, and we will try to quickly help you or a loved one or a friend that's out there in that muck and mire, that's sick and tired of being sick and tired. There's a lot of other activities that are taking place as it relates to National Recovery Month. And as I go through my program on next Sunday and through the rest of the month, I'll be making sure that you're alerted and aware to where some of these programs are. If you call our number and say you'd like to know, substance abuse, mental health is doing some things and put a roster out of things that are going on, as well as, I can't think of the name of it, on 2nd Street, RVC, I think it is, the Roy story of the life of someone who that program is named after. Right there at 2nd and I think Jefferson or Madison. A lot of you probably know what I'm talking about. Bottom line is they're going to be doing some things for 2 or 3 days. It's over there where Sandy Anderson works or was working. And can't think of my buddy that works over there as well. Ron Beard. Ron Beard is over there, and others. As you probably know from those names what I'm talking about. There are programs around, 1212 and many others, SODAD, there's Brandywine Counseling. There are a lot of programs around waiting and ready and willing to help you to get your life back. Kirkwood Detox, Price's Corner next to the State Police Barracks there. They're ready and waiting. There are programs, long-term programs up in Philadelphia where we've placed people with very good success stories that are working now, have apartments, doing well, and stayed up in Philadelphia, did not want to come back down here because they felt friends and people, place, and things, they may get drawn back. They're doing very well, and I say God bless them. If that's what you feel, stay up there. A few of them even got a job in the program as in charge of one of the houses, overseeing the house where some of these folks stay, and even moved up as a counselor in 2 of them from right down here in the little city of Wilmington because of the great job they did in helping and reaching out and helping others as they were coming off of their addiction and getting their life back. So these things can happen. They can happen, but you got to have a big want to. You got to want to do it. And if you do, there's help out there for you. Okay, and again, that's the big billboards, the phone number, National Recovery Month, Treatment Works, the billboard campaign that we, the Kingcenter, are very proud of. Also, let me say I want to shift some gears here now, and I want to talk about the Wilmington Housing Authority. Wilmington Housing Authority. I shared a lot of information with you about the Wilmington Housing Authority over the past year, and I have, like some of the other board members, a lot of disappointments over the manner in which the Housing Authority has been operating and has been run for the last, I would dare say, 13 years, if you will, 13 years. A lot of things I didn't know till we went on into the 13 years. But just a manner in which the way a lot of things have been happening. And I'm talking about since Mr. Fred Purnell had been hired as the executive director. Let me make sure I kind of scribbled these, but I want to make sure you understand where I see problems and serious concerns. One is with finance, and how the finance is handled and the way a lot of that goes on. I'm not in any way accusing anyone, Mr. Purnell, anybody else, of having tampered with funds or did anything they should not have done with the funding. I'm talking about the way the funding is handled and the order, if you will, or the instruction coming from the executive director's office and the board going along with that to do things a certain way with the funding. Serious concerns and problems of which we will be looking into as we go forward in the very near future. The finances, serious concerns. Secondly, is the contracts. The contracts and the manner in which the contracts have been let out. The fact that Philadelphia contractors and others get the work down here from the Wilmington Housing Authority, while our local contractors here and our people in the city of Wilmington, our residents, young men that don't want to be out there doing negative things, can't find a job nowhere, can't get a job because they may have had an infraction with the law and may have a felon. But they're willing to go to work, be a laborer, may have some skill, and they could work with some of the local contractors. If the contractor was given the opportunity and was able to hire some of the local people here, WHA residents I'm talking about, and I'm talking about Wilmingtonians and our young men that are out there on these corners that are heartbroken over the fact that no matter what they try to do, they're in a catch-22 and can't seem to get a job anywhere. My friends, it's wrong. It's wrong. And whatever the criteria that was set, however that criteria was set by WHA and Mr. Purnell, and that it had not been looked at and reviewed to say, wait a minute, something's wrong here. We got to get some Wilmington and Delaware and Newcastle County contractors involved, and that policy was not amended as the selections were made. I have a problem, and it's something that we must put on the front burner. I have a problem with it. I left, and we haven't had money over the last year to do a lot of work because of the cutbacks at the federal level. But the bottom line was that after monies came in, new monies, then we were asked to do some things to help free up new monies or create new monies. We are a new board that are lay people trying to understand as we go forth. We just got a full board now that completes our full board that took about a year ago to put in place. There was some friction and confusion, divide and conquer on the board. And some of our board members bought into that. And as a result, the effort was made to try to make Herman Holloway Jr., the new chairman, the bad guy at every turn. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just picking on him because I don't like him. Mr. Purnell, and all this nonsense. And my eye, believe it or not, my friends, my eye was then and still on the sparrow. I see things that go on that are not right, they're not kosher, and I say we, a new board, have to step in and do something about it. And when I try to share these or bring them up or whatever, next thing I know, I'm getting ambushed all over the place. After the ED had stepped in and exerted his authority and went over the chairman's head and went to the board members, this is the kind of nonsense that's going on that must be stopped. Must be stopped. I said to you, a lot of you approached me that, Mr. Purnell's going to be gone now and all that. And I said, no. I didn't go in and wanted to be on the board to throw Mr. Purnell out. I went on the board to try to get additional board members that agreed with me that things at Wilmington Housing Authority the way in which we were managing, the way in which we were letting contracts, the way in which we were doing business needed to be looked at, put under the microscope, and find where the flaws are and change the policy, change the direction of the housing authority. Make sure that it's more inclusive as it relates to Wilmington and Newcastle County contractors that have local people working for them already, that will be able to hire some of our residents under a certain kind of arrangement and hire some of our local brothers and sisters that are sitting out there, mainly our brothers, that can't find a job nowhere because nobody won't give them a break. Yet and still, our contracts are being let and people at a state are doing our work. As a result of some things that just happened and some money getting freed up, we were able to start the work again on the boarded up houses where they ran out of money before I come on the board to complete the total gut and renovation of those homes. Some 57, I believe, I heard the number. The bottom line is, as I left my home on Sunday morning to go pick up my grandson around 10:30, my heart dropped. My heart dropped. I was saddened to see 3 or 4 Philadelphia crews working in houses right there in the development, the project, where Larry Carter's office used to be, the Hope Commission, to see these things with Philadelphia workers and outfits there doing that demolition, getting ready to rebuild those units. I got out the car and I went in and I talked to them and asked what was happening, what are you doing? I was respectful, never told them who I was. They didn't know. And we talked and they were gutting them out, they were gutting them, and they were going to be working on them, turning them into units again, where there used to be offices. And again, I was bothered. I was very heated. But they're not at fault. They're not at fault. So no need in being angry with them and or the contractor that's doing the job out of Philadelphia, bringing his people in. But we as a housing authority leadership must insist and should have insisted over the years when they were getting a lot of our other work and making thousands, I dare say hundreds of thousands of dollars off our backs. Wilmington Housing Authority. Wilmington Housing Authority. But yet, Mr. Purnell did not see fit with his wisdom to ensure that we tie in some stipulation, that we reach out to have Wilmingtonians working with these projects. One, is there a Wilmington contractor or those that can meet the contract, or what's blocking them and stopping them? And let's see if we can't fix that and go forward and allow them to hire Wilmingtonians that are out of work. I come by Sunday morning last week and I see these guys working in the unit. I see the name on the truck, which I remember from last time when they did a lot of work. Hart Enterprise Association, 215, whatever the number was, Pennsylvania tags. So naturally I'm irritated because I know our brothers need the work and our contractors should be getting the money down here when it fits, and we need to help make it fit. And I talked to them for a little while. I went and got my grandson. I come back and had him. I had another board member to meet me there, and we took pictures of what they were doing and the tags on their car and the names on the side of their trucks and the tags on their trucks. And I made a call about it. And it gets reported back from a staff person, because I'm informed of the emails back and forth, that all they were doing was stopping in to take a look at how they needed to deal with the electrical situation in the ceiling. This is on the email I have at the office. And they were changing locks. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. That place was gutted, all the walls. Nothing was done to the ceilings. I walked all through it. All the plywood, the walls, the sheetrock was tore off the walls. It was in big piles in the middle of the floor. And I have pictures to verify. So whoever told and said that was all they were doing, they just stopped in on a Sunday. That was not. and I understand they were not even authorized to be there. But I'm not bothered by all of that as much as I am Philadelphia contractors getting our work year in and year out, nothing done about it. When I left and I come back on Monday morning, going to work, and I rode around to see what was going on. Rode back, here the Philadelphia contractors with their crew, here they are again. Continue on in there and starting up in the unit, tearing it up there where Larry Carter had the Youth Academy. And I tell you, pardon my French, folks, it pisses me off that Mr. Purnell, who a lot of people try to defend of how great he is, and he is knowledgeable about housing, but that has nothing to do with the fact that he is from Philadelphia, he still lives in Philadelphia, and that would not be a major problem with me if, in fact, he was making sure that Wilmingtonians, contractors, and Wilmingtonians, our citizens and our residents, were getting in on a lot of those dollars that were let. So that's my argument, and that's my problem with what is going on at the Wilmington Housing Authority. The attitudes to trickle down effect attitudes of some of our staff, including Mr. Purnell, is sad and piss poor. The attitudes, the manner in which and way they treat our residents and talk down, some of them, not all of them. But Mr. Purnell's at the top of the heap. At the top of the heap. To have a hearing on such an important issue, and it's not resolved, folks, on raising the rents of our residents September 4th, and to not inform me and keep me in the loop as the chairman of the board, so that I can inform and have conversations with the Board of Commissioners, so that we knew what was going on and understood why we were having that hearing. We were not kept in the loop and informed. I do not remember any notice, anything about it, and if so, like the rest of the board, when I sent them emails, please notify me if you heard anything about this September 4th hearing. Did you receive anything? The majority who got back to me said, Mr. Chairman, I don't know what you're talking about. I received nothing. Why in the hell should that be? It's exerting his authority, and it's totally disrespect of the chairperson and the Board of Commissioners. And we must bring this to an abrupt halt. And we're working to do so. We're working to do so, to get a handle on this. We're going to be doing some things out of the box. The residents and the way they were notified, the way the notice went out, that was supposed to be posted and notified the public 45 days in advance of a public hearing of that nature. Residents, by and large, knew nothing. They send the HUD like they did on December 5th of 13, when they had another public hearing. The sign-in sheet contained 5 of our staff people, and no residents attended, no names wrote down. This is the embarrassing message that they send when they don't properly put the notice out. And residents don't know and don't show up. And they don't want them there. He doesn't want them there. They're going to raise questions, they're going to fuss, and they don't understand it's going to take some time to explain. So they don't really want them there. But the law of HUD said they must be involved and included. But the way you put the notice out, they don't hear about it or know about it, and therefore they don't attend. I'm proud to say that we went to work on it after a resident in Southbridge brought that flyer to me. She's seen it in the manager's office and asked for a copy of it. Asked what in the world was that about. She brought it around to my house and banged on my door, very upset. And she understands from reading it and talking to the manager that it may have an impact on raising our residents' rents. And some of them, the working residents, may get a very large jump increase in their rent. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I knew nothing about the public hearing. Had she not brought that to my home, me and other members of the board who attended would not have even been there. The residents would not have been there. They'd opened it up, gave the date, taped it, made their comments as to what this was to discuss. There's no residents here to discuss it. What it does, We put this thing out 45 days notice. We put a teeny matchbox notice in the news journal, notifying the public, quote unquote, of this important hearing. Nobody's here. We're starting at 4:30. We're ending this meeting 4:35, 4:40. No residents came, as if they have no interest in it. We went to work on it, and we contacted them residents, and we had about 50 or 60 residents in there. They'd keep going, getting cheers. They were standing right in the lobby, in the hallways. They're interested in a whole lot of this stuff, but they're not properly informed. And that's why I wanted to go back on the board to address these issues, and we're going to deal with it come hell or high water. We're going to address it and work to turn these things around no matter where it takes us. I have board members that agree with me. I have some that don't agree with me. And I disagree that any of this is personal. It's the business and the right way and wrong way to be a good landlord to our residents for which we house, that we're responsible to house, and to welcome them in a 50-50 working relationship. And that's simply that the resident must live up to the stipulations of the lease and do their part. That's their 50%. And we must do ours at the Housing Authority. And when our staff is right, stand by our staff. And when they're wrong, let them know they're wrong. And if it's wrong, overwhelmingly, we need to look at why it's happening that way and make some changes. And that's the way it is. That's the way it's done in the corporate world. That's the way it should be. And that's what we must do as a public nonprofit agency, Wilmington Housing Authority. That's what we must do. Why I share all that with you? When Mayor Dennis P. Williams got elected, he started out saying that a new day in the city of Wilmington. And I captured that phrase, and I started using and telling you a new day at the WHA, meaning new board members, going to look at things, we're going to go in a new direction, and we're going to try to really help fix everything that may be broke as best we can. Supporting our staff, our ED, where he's right and things he want to do, but calling to his attention things that are wrong and out of whack and saying these must be changed. And therefore, the city of Wilmington benefits, our Wilmington contractors benefit, our residents benefit, and our citizens and those on the corners that can't find a job, that are willing to go to work and be on time and show up and learn and be a part of that workforce. We want to get them back working again and they can get some of these jobs. Why did I tell you all this? Because I had mentioned to you, that I had in mind something that I wanted to do when I first got on the board. I've been thinking about, and I'll tell you about it later. And things took over, and I didn't get to deal with it. I'm going to tell you what it is. I want to announce to you tonight, each and every one of you under the sound of my voice, particularly those in public housing, but those who have family members, grandmothers, grandparents, sisters, brothers who are seniors that live in our high rises, family members and nieces and nephews in our public housing units. I want to announce here tonight that I will be making a promo, run it every time, starting next week on my TV shows. And it's going to be promoting, you'll be seeing flyers about it, we're going to be holding meetings. I'm asking those in public housing to unite together and your families and friends to join us under what I'm calling and putting a name on WHA Residents United. WHA Residents United. Some of you have been talking about it from talking with Ms. Pauline Addison. Some of you have even started to talk with residents and you're starting to pull folks together to be a part of the organization. I want to try to organize all of us under one umbrella. WHA Residents United. And with your families and friends that want to support that. And let's build an army of people who want to see the right thing done. That want to see our residents respected. They're not second-class citizens. Their rights should be respected. And when they're having problems in their units, these things need to be corrected as best can be without long delays, unless it's something major. And a lot of the things I hear about aren't major issues, aren't major. So again, I'm announcing here tonight, we're going to be working to organize. I've talked to some union friends of mine. I've talked to some others. I'm asking them to put up some money. We can have some refreshments, do some things, that we can call you to some meetings, and that we can work to organize and then pull everybody together and start a roster of people that are ready to stand together. And if the Wilmington Housing Authority is wrong, and it is in a lot of cases, let's grease the wheels, organize, and let's get ready to take it on and improve upon those issues where these things are not happening. If HUD, who oversees and sends in dollars, is not ready and willing to listen and want to support, see, they create a buddy system of these people that move up the ladder, that get involved, long-time directors, 10, 12, 13, 15 years in a housing authority. They're entrenched. They're one of the boys at the national level, at the regional level. So they start circling the ranks, pushing down to try to get in, to get me to agree to have a board training. The board needs to be trained. This is pushed by Mr. Purnell. The board needs to be trained as to how to be responsible board members because they're so new. We need some training, perhaps. I don't argue that. But we don't need that training right now. We don't need to push from the regional office, trying to get that done. What we need is for everybody to open their eyes at HUD, open their eyes at what's going on at this Wilmington Housing Authority. Don't be trying to support Fred because he's Fred, because you think he's right. And pay attention to the things that's going to get ready, happen, and be unfolded. I have tried to keep this issue under wraps and to work in-house among my Board of Commissioners and with Mr. Purnell and staff. But it has gone for naught. And I'm telling you as I sit here, this issue is about to explode. And what I mean by that, public media, press conferences, and all hell breaking loose. I don't want to go there. But we got to come together in-house and work these things and address them and get them straightened out. Or I'll do that no matter where it takes me or what it costs us. Because we cannot continue. There's a Jersey outfit working right around on B Street, right across from Mount Joy Church. New Jersey outfit, contractors doing work in our units. They were there all last week. They'll probably be back tomorrow morning. I don't want anybody out under the sound of my voice in Southbridge or resident or someone out of work there. We must address this very peaceful, respectful, and within the law and the confines of Wilmington Housing Authority and HUD. So I ask everybody to leave the issue alone until I call you to a meeting. We're going to address it. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you 1 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock on next Sunday. And we'll be talking about this as I'll be bringing some of my Democratic friends on with me to hopefully help you understand why they should be reelected in the office for where they are. Until next time, God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time again for Lapa's Old School Dinner Dance, to be held at the air-conditioned PAL Center, 3707 North Market Street in the city of Wilmington. There will be food, dancing, plus music by Comcast Entertainment. Join us on September the 20th from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Your support for this special fundraiser event will benefit the new Lapa Channel 28. Tickets, $30. To get your tickets, contact Ruth Baker, 655-3477, Josie Roy, 377-79